Welcome back to the channel, my fellow Port Charles addicts. It is a beautiful day to dive into some absolute soap opera chaos, so grab your biggest mug of coffee and let's get into it. I am literally typing this with shaking hands right now because I cannot believe what they just did on this Thursday. June 11 episode. I mean, we need to talk about this immediately before I completely lose my mind. I am sitting here staring at my screen, rewinding the last 10 minutes of the show over and over again because the sheer audacity of these writers right now is off the charts. We have to start with the construction site, because my heart practically stopped beating in my chest. Lucas Jones, Jen Sidwell, 3 bullets at close range. Are you kidding me right now? I was screaming at my television. Okay, let me back up because I am getting way ahead of myself, and my adrenaline is still spiking. Let's set the scene. They are at the construction site for the memorial tennis court being built in memory of Marco Rios. First of all, the poetic cinema of this location is just chef's kiss. Marco's memorial, the absolute emotional weight of Lucas standing on the very ground, meant to honor the man he loved and lost. And then Jen Sidwell, this absolute monster, who has been terrorizing our screens for months, just pulls a gun and pumps 3 bullets right into Lucas's chest. At close range, I physically gasped. I thought there is no way they are killing off Lucas Jones after finally giving him a front-burner storyline. I've been watching since 2015, and this is the most invested I have been in Lucas in years. But wait, because the panic didn't stop there. Laura Collins rushing over to him, dropping to the ground, her maternal instincts kicking into absolute overdrive. She pats his cheek, looking completely terrified, and asks Lucas, "Can you hear me?" And Sidwell is just gone. He vanished into thin air, like the coward he is leaving Laura kneeling in the dirt with Lucas. But then, and this is where I actually started cheering in my living room, you look closely at the scene. There is no blood. Not a single drop of blood on Lucas's jacket. Am I the only one who immediately realized what was happening, Lucas Jones? The man who has been quietly mourning in the background, while everyone else got screen time, just pulled off the ultimate bait and switch. He was wearing a bulletproof vest. He literally used himself as human bait to taunt Sidwell into an attempted murder charge. I am sorry. But the sheer genius of this plan, the absolute bravery, Lucas knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to catch Sidwell red-handed, and he just pulled it off with the help of some brilliant trickery. If there is a video recording of this somewhere, Sidwell is completely done for. Lock him up and throw away the key. I am so incredibly here for this dark, vengeful, mastermind era of Lucas Jones. Remember when they tried to make him just a passive background character? Yeah, that didn't work then, and I am so glad they are letting him fight back now. So while I am half celebrating Lucas surviving and half stressing about Sidwell being on the loose, we have to talk about the absolute whiplash of transitioning to the Quartermain boathouse. Trina Robinson, my absolute queen, finally put her foot down, and I could not be prouder of her. She completely blindsided Giovanni Giapalmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake. They are standing there, and Trina just drops the bomb. She doesn't want to be a part of the showcase. She is done. She is bowing out. And honestly, good for her. I know some people are loving the idea of Trina becoming this musical superstar, but personally, I hated it from the start. Her fun karaoke night was just that, a fun one-off night. It shouldn't dictate her entire future. Trina has always been our art gallery girl. She has an eye for curation, not for standing on a stage belting out tunes. Gio and Emma looked absolutely shocked, their jaws practically on the floor, but Trina was resolute. She is taking Kai Taylor's advice to be herself and live for herself, instead of constantly bending over backward for everyone else. Because, let's be real, Trina has been carrying the emotional weight of her entire family for way too long. She is exhausted. She is caught right in the middle of this toxic, escalating feud between Portia Robinson and Curtis Ashford, and she just wants out of the drama. Can we really blame her? The girl has survived so much trauma over the last few years, from the trial to the Esme nightmare. And now she has to deal with her parents acting like actual children. Stepping away from the showcase is her way of reclaiming her peace, and I am standing and applauding her for it. Speaking of her parents acting like children, we urgently need to discuss the absolute train wreck that was Portia's baby shower at the Metro Court Gardens. I knew this party was going to be a disaster. The second Jordan Ashford accepted the invitation, but I did not expect it to blow up like this. Curtis Ashford has been walking around Port Charles with this unearned arrogance lately, and it finally caught up with him. He started an argument right there in front of Trina and all the guests at a baby shower. But then the heavens parted and Auntie Stella Henry stepped in to do what she does best. Absolutely read someone for filth. Stella let loose, and I mean she let loose. She lashed out at Curtis, screaming, because if that's all you care about your kids, then you are going to lose. All caps in my soul for Stella Henry. She does not play. When Stella raises her voice, everyone in that town needs to sit down and take notes. She made it crystal clear that the kids are the ones who are going to suffer if Curtis Portia Jordan and Isaiah Gannon cannot learn to act like adults and get along. Portia and Isaiah were just standing there watching, probably too stunned to speak. And you know what? Portia looked like she was drowning in regrets. You could see it all over her face. She deeply regrets telling Trina that Curtis was her father, and she regrets telling Curtis that Trina was his daughter after keeping it a secret for all those years. And honestly, looking at how Curtis is behaving right now, destroying Isaiah's hand and refusing to take any responsibility for it, I kind of agree with Portia. Curtis is facing felony charges. He might ruin Isaiah's surgical career permanently, and he still wants to act like he is the victim. It is infuriating, and I am so glad Stella finally put him in his place. Okay, back to the point because the drama does not stop there. Let's pivot to Carly and Valentin Cassadine. Carly is currently operating on pure, frantic mother energy because Jocelyn Jax is missing. And we all know Carly is going to Carly. She cannot sit still when her child is in danger. She wants to march right over to Windermere and start tearing the castle apart brick by brick to find Jocelyn. And while I completely understand her desperation, Valentin is actually the voice of reason here, which is wild to say. Valentin delivered a very stern warning to Carly about her strategy. He told her, "That all changes if we play this the wrong way," and he is 100% right. Valentin knows exactly how dangerous Jen Sidwell and Ross Cullum are. He knows that if Carly goes barging in there without a solid plan, she could get Jocelyn killed, or get herself killed in the process. It is obvious Valentin wants to execute their plan with absolute precision. Any deviation could bring total disaster. But this is Carly we are talking about. Will she actually be able to hold back and listen to Valentin? I highly doubt it. She already found Jocelyn's dropped ring on the property, so she knows her daughter is there. I am dreading what Carly might do next, but I am also kind of here for her burning Windermere to the ground, if it means saving Jocelyn. And finally, we have to talk about the absolute unhinged madness happening over at Turning Woods with Willow Kane and Jack Brennan. I have been watching this show for years, and the evolution of Willow Kane is either the greatest character arc or the worst character assassination in history, and I still haven't decided which. Remember when she was just a sweet, soft-spoken school teacher? Now she is sneaking around a medical facility with syringes full of illegal paralytics. Willow is in a complete panic because she went to dose Brennan and he grabbed her arm. I screamed. Brennan is awake. He is not locked in, and he is fully capable of defending himself because Nina Reeves actually did the right thing and threw away his previous dose. Willow's reaction was pure, unfiltered panic. She realizes he can talk, and her immediate psychotic logic is, "You can talk. The sooner I give this to you, the better. Like what?" She is completely out of her mind. She thinks that if she drugs him faster, she can cover her tracks. But Brennan is obviously not going to just lay there and let her inject him. He has to work fast to get her to back off, and we all know Brennan is a master manipulator. He is going to bargain with her. He knows exactly what Willow wants leverage on Drew Kane. Brennan is going to argue that if Willow doses him now, she will never get the dirt she desperately needs to keep. Drew, quiet and free herself from that toxic marriage. I know some people are hating this dark Willow era, but personally I am fascinated by it. She is in way over her head, and striking a deal with Jack Brennan is like making a deal with the devil. He is going to offer her an incredibly tempting deal, and she is going to take it because she has no other choice. Nina might even show up to back Brennan up, which is going to fracture the mother-daughter dynamic even more. I am so ready for this messy, manipulative alliance between Willow Brennan and Nina. This episode was an absolute roller coaster from start to finish. Between Lucas surviving a literal point-blank shooting, Trina reclaiming her life, Stella tearing Curtis a new one, and Willow losing her grip on reality. I am exhausted in the best way possible. What did you guys think? Are you Team Lucas all the way? Do you think Carly is going to ruin Valentin's plan? Let me know, because I need to vent about this with people who actually get it.